So since all our names didn't make it to the program, before we start our Pecha Kucha, I'd like to introduce our team from the Writing Center. And this is in the spirit of collaboration, both for this presentation and true to the principles in the Writing Center in how we work with students. We are 4 presenting. So Mary Cruz, a tutor, Adrian Carley, also a tutor, and Kirk Stone, who's the assistant director. Okay, so Mary will start us, and we will present some of the tools and methods we use to tutor writing at the Writing Center.
So good morning, everybody. So today we're doing something a little different. We have collaborated together to talk about 3 elements that are really important to us, and that is how the Writing Center uses groups, live writing, and lenses to help students become better writers and responders. So writing is typically considered to be a solo activity. Honestly, it's kind of soul-crushing, as you can see from the picture back there. You kind of have to put yourself in solitary confinement and write something you don't really want to or completely understand or know about, and then you have to present it to be judged. And this makes it difficult to have a positive relationship or even a half-decent relationship with writing. However, it's not this way at the Writing Center. We write in groups. So we have semester-long small writing groups that consists of 1 tutor and 3 students. And we support each other as writers rather than assisting for a particular class, because writing occurs in almost every single class we're going to take. So here's an example of our lovely groups. And in the groups, we get to share our experiences and ideas. And we get to see that there's validity in our experiences. We get to voice our opinions and see that our voices matter, and particularly that our writing voices matter. So because the groups are semester long, you really get to build rapport and comfort with one another. And we get to experience a live and diverse audience who's actively engaging with our ideas and our writing. So the groups, which is awesome, and I love live writing, sometimes we might disagree or challenge your ideas, and that's okay, because that's part of the college experience. We're not always going to agree. It's how we approach those ideas. So you might want to know is, if we get a group of people together, how are we going to have a productive conversation within a small writing group?
At the Writing Center, we use writing as a way to communicate. We call this live writing. Usually in groups that just talk, 1 or 2 people usually dominate the conversation, but live writing prevents this from happening. Whenever a question about the topic we're discussing in our groups arises, we use live writing as a way to answer it. When we live write, everyone in the group stops talking and we write out our answer to the questions being posed, and we continue to write until we fully answered the question. Afterward, everybody shares their written responses to each other, and this allows everyone to engage in the conversation. But live writing is more than just an efficient way of having a group conversation. We use live writing because it allows us to think on paper. It lets us explore new ideas and possibilities that we might not have considered before. Live writing allows students to use their own experiences and their own opinions to engage in topics, or to engage in conversations about academic topics. Through live writing, they see that their experiences matter. This helps them develop a voice and gives them confidence in their ability to write. Live writes also help students become more comfortable with writing because they see that it allows them to develop fluency and shows them that writing doesn't have to be some kind of punishment. To give students responses to their drafts, we utilize something called lens responses.
So lenses are tools we use to respond to drafts. They are just questions that we develop that concentrate on a specific area of writing and illuminate it. One of them is more about, where we ask students, students to after reading a draft, to ask this question, what do you want to hear more about? And that opens up areas, points up gaps, and shows where we can elaborate in writing. Another easy one is called overall. We found that it's very hard for students to start writing with agonizing over a definitive thesis statement. It's easier for them to produce a draft, and then we can ask this question, what do you hear me saying overall in this draft? And then we can discuss it and come up with that statement. A much more complex lens that we use is called conversation map. Students often use sources by just dropping in quotes in papers. Instead of that, we want them to see the relationships between what people are saying about a topic when they use sources. So we have them imagine a conversation in the same room with the people they're using as sources, discussing the topic and finding out relationships.
So to sum up, we're taught our whole lives that writing is something you do yourself. Almost so much that we're ashamed for someone to see us doing it. You know, we have to go in a little room and don't look, I'm writing. At the Writing Center, we consider writing as social. We write together and we enjoy it. And because writing is often assignments given to you by someone else, they're collected, they're graded, we tend to forget that writing is a human communicating with other humans, something we have experience with. Imagine if we gave feedback to our friends when we talk to them the way we give feedback to writing. Thanks, Bob, for telling me about your weekend. The run-ons were distracting, needs development. D+, buddy. At the Writing Center, we think of writing more as speaking, and we use our live writing and our lenses to tap into the communication expertise that we all have. And so if you get all three of these elements together, groups and the lenses and writing in person, you not just help people with writing assignments, you can have egalitarian conversations where everyone's heard, and it's not just one old white dude holding the floor. So, and you can have these conversations in your meetings, in your classrooms. If you'd like to know how to do them, let us know. We can come to your classroom and help teach you how to do it. Or just come to the Writing Center and write with us. Thank you.